Let's speak to our international affairs commentator, Douglas Herbert.
I will.
Doug. Just how significant is this latest recapture by Ukrainian forces?
Well, listen to what you had just said. You said that since the counteroffensive, they've recaptured 50 square kilometers around Bakhmut. Bakhmut, as you'll remember, was the scene of the absolute bloodiest battle since Russia's full-scale invasion back in February 2022. It lasted 9 months. The death toll was horrific. What we have been seeing is Western critics basically griping about what they say is an overly slow, too long, drawn-out Ukrainian offensive. They want Ukraine to speed things up. But the fact is, there has been slow but steady progress, if you're to believe the Ukrainian military's claims. And they have been taking along the flanks of Bakhmut, which, yes, fell into Russian hands in May. But along its flanks, in all directions, the Ukrainians have been sort of snipping away at villages. And this is sort of the latest, if you want, thrust in that slow but steady drive. Andriivka, small village, right? It's small fry. But the fact that it is yet another village to fall, it in a sense has more than just symbolic significance, because it shows the morale is still high among Ukrainian soldiers, and they still have the wherewithal to sort of snip away at Russian territories, Russian-controlled territory. So small village, but it shows that the Ukrainians are determined to move on there, and you can see it on the map. It's part of the Donetsk region, by the way, so it's that southeastern flank of the fighting as opposed to the southern flank.
Yeah, and more broadly, we've seen Ukraine stepping up activity in the occupied Crimean Peninsula.
Yeah, and this is really significant, right? Beyond just symbolic, because once again, Ukrainian claims, right? Can we absolutely corroborate them? Can we refute them? Not really. Russians and Ukrainians have different sort of information spheres, if you will. Let's bring back up that chart. A lot going around in Crimea. Biggest stuff was happening actually yesterday on Thursday, when there were two separate things. The Ukrainians claimed that they took out a Russian aerial defense system, an S-400 defense system on the ground, a defense system presumably used to target Ukrainian ships in the Black Sea, perhaps beyond, and also in the morning taking out two Russian naval vessels in and around the Crimean Peninsula. That's big. A day before, the Ukrainian claims to attack the headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet at Sevastopol. They say taking out heavily damaging two ships that had been in a repair yard. Russians playing it down, saying the attack failed, those ships are being repaired, they'll be up and running sometime soon. So you could see the contradictory information, but there's no reason not to believe the Ukrainian claims, even if we can't completely corroborate them. Oil and gas platforms said to have been recaptured in recent days and weeks by the Ukrainians, and that last point there, not to be ignored. Those formidable defenses that the Russians have put up along the eastern and southern lines, especially in the south along the Zaporizhia axis, these anti-tank trenches, minefields. The Ukrainians say they have breached the first line of defense in certain areas on their way to the second line of defense. That's a big deal.
And what does this bode for the winter?
Nothing good in the sense that, I'm going to give you the negative side of the story. Volodymyr Zelensky, in this week's edition of The Economist, gave an interview, and what he says, and we could bring up his quote here, is he has no illusions about what's going on here. He fears that his Western partners are losing faith. Remember, I began by saying Western critics criticizing the pace of the offensive. He fears that they want to use the slow pace, in quotes, of this of counteroffensive to force Ukraine to the negotiating table in talks that would be on Russia's terms. And what he said is, look, I have this intuition, reading, hearing, and seeing their eyes, Western partners. What they say is, we'll be always with you, but I see that he or she is not here, not with us. A shot across the bow to those perhaps wavering Westerners in saying, don't push us to the table with Russia. We have this. Military campaigns are long. It's going to be brutal. Yeah, it might slow down in the winter months. You got to put your faith in us. You got to remain with us. So that's sort of a, shot across the bow of Western public opinion. I'll just say Russia, and I'll leave you with this. It's going to be tough because even as Ukraine makes that, quote, slow but steady progress, according to Ukrainian military, eastern flanks in Ukraine, and also striking at Crimea, the Russians are, according to some U.S. media reports, getting around the sanctions and the export controls, being able to, despite sanctions, bring in the parts they need to replenish their weapons, their advanced sophisticated weaponry, and also to ramp up their missile production. And according to some military experts in the West, Russia might have more ammunition right now in its arsenals ready to go in the months ahead than the U.S. and Europe combined will have in their arsenals, as far as stockpiling artillery shells and things like that. So that's something to keep your eye on in the months ahead. This is, unfortunately, for both sides, going to be a very long, perhaps, and grueling war, barring a dramatic change in events.
All right, Doug. Thank you very much. Douglas Herbert, our international affairs commentator.